ठीक है वो उससे करता है अपने आप.
Alrighty. Microphone.
All the pictures I've sent you.
Because the press conference do it too, right off the podium. That mic's still live.
Where is it?
And everyone's crowded around going, oh, God, that's over.
Does this need to be on?
Wait a minute.
It's on, yeah. Okay.
So where?
So
Yeah.
which mic?
Be pulled down.
That's the camera.
Yeah.
So my first, Faizan, my first part is going to be in Urdu, and then I'll invite you to be part of this, and then you'll just cut it after that, and then we'll start talking to them. When we start talking to them, we'll go there. Right? That's the plan, right? And I stay. Yep.
While he's talking.
Or do I go back to that office? Yeah, like that's where the camera. Look there. Fine. Thanks. So I have kids in my audience. Hello. Wow. Very good. In my set, I've never had to speak in front of kids.
They're tougher.
Tense.
Most intimidating.
Watch out.
Yes, that's the most difficult part. The kids, you won't understand the first 1 minute. Don't be worried. It's in a different language, right? But after that, we'll get to English. Okay. And they're not worried. They don't care.
No, Dad's sitting in the mayor's seat.
Okay. So that's the camera. Hello, testing. Is it right to here? Right. Lift it up.
Yeah, that's your announcement.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. We're right now in Austin, जो कि एक शहर है, बहुत बड़ा शहर है अमेरिका का, और अमेरिका के अंदर जो स्टेट्स हैं उसमें टेक्सास वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट स्टेट्स है. ऑस्टिन जो है उसकी बड़ी सिग्निफिकेंस है इस मुल्क में, क्योंकि ऑस्टिन अब सिलिकॉन वैली के बाद एक दूसरा ऐसा शहर बनने जा रहा है जहाँ पर बहुत एक्टिविटी है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की, स्टार्टअप्स की. और पाकिस्तान में ऑस्टिन की एक जगह है अब, एवर सिंस हमने एक प्रोग्राम शुरू किया, एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम हमारी गवर्नमेंट ने सिटी ऑफ ऑस्टिन गवर्नमेंट के साथ. उसके बाद से अभी कुछ दिन पहले एक MOU साइन हुआ है जिसमें ऑस्टिन और लाहौर अब टेक्नोलॉजी और इनोवेशन को प्रमोट करने के लिए सिस्टर सिटीज़ बन गई. ये बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट है पाकिस्तान के लिए, और ये बहुत बड़ी खुशखबरी है. मैं आज यहाँ पर जो खड़ा हूँ, ये सिटी हॉल है ऑस्टिन का. यहाँ पे द मेयर ऑफ ऑस्टिन ऑल्सो सिट्स है. ये बड़ी प्रेस्टिजियस जगह है. आप मेरे पीछे देखेंगे तो आपको नज़र आएगा कि वहाँ बड़े मुख्तलिफ झंडे लगे हुए हैं. ये बड़ी फॉर्मल जगह, यहाँ बड़ी सीरियस मीटिंग्स होती हैं, और सीरियस मीटिंग्स में पहली बार आज हम एक टेलीविज़न शो यहाँ शूट करें. पाकिस्तान का पहला बिजनेस रियलिटी शो आइडिया करोड़ों का. आज का आइडिया करोड़ों का थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है. इट्स नॉट अ स्टार्टअप पिच डे. ये एक टॉक शो होगा. इसमें मैं बात करूँगा ऑस्टिन के और टेक्सास के सबसे जो बड़े नाम हैं टेक्नोलॉजी की स्पेस में, बिजनेस की स्पेस में, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की स्पेस में. उन सब से हम बात करेंगे और उनसे हम जानेंगे कि उनके ख्याल में पाकिस्तान में कितना पोटेंशियल है, और पाकिस्तान के जो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, जो स्टार्टअप्स हैं, उनमें कितना पोटेंशियल है. बट टू जॉइन मी टुडे, आई एम co-hosting some part of the show today with a friend of mine from Austin, and I'd like to invite somebody who's a dear friend, and I'll let her introduce herself. Alicia Dean, can you please join me?
Clap.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam.
Walaikum assalam.
हाँ, Alicia. कैसे हैं? Thank you. मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ. आप कैसी हैं?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ, शुक्रिया.
देख लें जी, हमारी ज़बान उर्दू की जो है वो दुनिया के कोने कोने में जा रही है. And Alicia knows a bit of it. थोड़ी थोड़ी. अरबी में कहते हैं शोया शोया. Excellent. So आज हम कंबाइंड ये शो रन करेंगे. अब ये शो में ज़्यादा अंग्रेज़ी में बात करूँगा, और आप नीचे देख सकेंगे सब टाइटल्स में कि सारी क्या बात हो रही है. जो लोग नहीं समझ सकते वो उसमें से सुने, और जो अंग्रेज़ी समझते हैं वो अंग्रेज़ी में सुने, क्योंकि हमारे शो में वी हैव टू गिव रिस्पेक्ट टू पीपल हियर जिनकी जो प्राइमरी लैंग्वेज है वो इंग्लिश है. सो हम उस ज़बान में बात करेंगे इस शो के अंदर आज. So Alicia, tell me something. Why Pakistan?
Why Pakistan? You know, I was struck by the amazing energy in Pakistan. There is a great sense of hope among the youth in Pakistan, and an amazing supply of talent. And so I was thinking that it would be awesome to create more lasting connections between Austin and Pakistan. And I tell people this a lot. and I think some of our program participants will speak to this as well. Lahore is very much like Austin was, about 20, 25 years ago, when we're talking in terms of building an innovation ecosystem and building an economy that's centered around startups. There are some very similar themes and storylines. And Austin and Lahore feel the same culture-wise. You've spent some time
I've
here.
spent some time. I'm telling you, it's very much the same. I was telling my friends the other day while walking through South by that the people generally are extremely friendly. I compare Austin, and some people may not like this, but I compare Austin with Glasgow. I've lived there.
Yes,
So
you said
Glasgow,
that.
the Scottish generally are extremely friendly people,
Absolutely.
as opposed to their neighbors.
Yes.
Let's not talk about Scotland and England now.
We won't do that, but you're right. I mean, we have some things in common. Austinites are very friendly. Lahoris are very friendly. Both of our people love to eat a lot. So,
A lot.
so
Lot.
when you come to Austin, you're guaranteed to be fed a lot. Same things that happens in Lahore. And then, of course, getting back to the business piece of it, there's a lot of opportunity for collaboration, and we're already starting to see that happen thanks to this program and the amazing work that's being done at Plan 9, Plan X, and of course facilitated by PITB under the visionary leadership of Dr. Umar Saif. And of course, you're carrying out the mission day in and day out. So we appreciate that. And we're
I pay
honored.
her to say this to me on
I
television.
did. I'll take the $5 later. And we're honored to have you here taping this show and to be a part of
Such
it.
a pleasure. It's a genuine honor, and I'm sure when people in Pakistan are looking at this, they'll be feeling very proud that our show is being played in an important part of Austin. Tell me quickly, why the ATX Pact program? You're the founder of the program.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted that exchange to happen between entrepreneurs and people in Austin, some great people I'm going to talk to now, to get exposure towards Pakistani entrepreneurial ecosystem. Why? What was the reason that you chose Pakistan out of so many other, well, not so great countries, but okay.
I know, no country is as great. Well, except maybe you. But, a mutual friend came up to me when I was on Zaki Farm.
Can I call his name Abbas?
You
used to
can,
say?
Abbas used to
Yes.
say.
I love you, Abbas.
I love you, Abbas. मैं बहुत प्यार करती हूँ. I love him a lot, and I mean that in the nicest of terms. He actually came up to me on Zaki Farm when he found out that I was from Austin, and he was one of the first evangelists to talk about the startup ecosystem and the innovation economy that honestly, he and his friends, and along with you, were kind of the architects. And so he inspired me. And when I returned to Austin, I started doing more research and saw, wow, there are all of these organic connections that are just happening. So why not, as a city, why not formalize some of those partnerships? And we just wanted to be a part of it. And it's exciting for us now to have this partnership. Through our Science City initiative, you are our first formal partner in a South Asian country, which is a
So
historic move for
Pakistan
us.
has become formally the first partner in South Asian countries, all of them, to have had the decision of being a partner to create a science city.
And it's important for us to
It works both ways.
It does work both ways.
All good deals work both ways. So fantastic. Thank you, Alicia.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take a quick short break, and I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to start talking to this extraordinary panel
Absolutely.
of people who found time to be on my show. Keep watching Idea Croron Ka. Okay, thank you. Good. So now I come back here. So I'm going to start with asking you to introduce yourselves, and then
And remember to stay like
in the corner, yeah, the corner, and that's the camera for me. Both cameras, catching me.
You can look to either, but
Yeah,
you're
that's
gonna be
good.
looking at them mostly.
Yeah, I'll be looking at them mostly.
But
So,
you're-
so yeah.
that's your-
Okay. But when I'm going to call back people from the break, from break, because they'll cut my piece here. So I'll look there. Okay. Okay. Are you ready, guys?
Yep.
Because now the camera's going to be on you.
Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So welcome back to Idea Croron Ka, Pakistan's first business reality show. This is a special edition from Austin. हम ऑस्टिन में आज हैं, यहाँ हम देख रहे हैं और यहाँ मिल रहे हैं लोगों से, और यहाँ पे साउथ बाय साउथ वेस्ट हो रहा है जो कि दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी कॉन्फ्रेंस होती है टेक्नोलॉजी की, फिल्म की, म्यूज़िक के लिए. Austin is a music city. the city of live music कहते हैं इसको. इसमें, let's talk more about the city, but before that, let me introduce you to the guests today. I'm going to start talking to each of them as the camera. I'm sure Paul right now has gotten all the attention with what he's wearing on his head. Now, what is this thing? What does it do? And why is he wearing this? We'll ask him when we come to him. So there's Chris, there's Paul, there's Gordon, and there's Preston. Amazingly positive people wanting to support Pakistan and our ecosystem. Why are they doing this? What do they do for their to earn a living or whatever they do? Let me quickly ask them these questions. And I'm going to throw that at you guys now. So let's start with the guy with something on the head. Why my Pakistanis want to know right now, what is going on?
Why the thing on the head?
Is this thing on?
Vision is one of the most important things about being an entrepreneur, I think. Thank you. I'm Paul O'Brien. I founded last year a company called Media Tech Ventures, and we're very passionate about what's going on in Austin, what's going on in the world at the convergence of music and media with technology. And I don't think there's any better way to show that or experience that than through what's happening in VR. We work with venture capitalists like Chris Sheets, who's up here. We work with Gordon in the context of accelerators and incubators. We work with the city and the city of Austin, which is why it's exciting to have Preston up here as well. And I just wanted folks to realize that as you're out raising capital, as you're developing a business, as you're driving passion in what it is that you're doing as an entrepreneur, it really starts with understanding why you're doing it and conveying that to someone else, showing them.
So the VR box is basically a reflection of vision and the importance of it.
I
Good,
think so.
Nicely done. Fantastic. Excellent. So quickly, Chris, tell us about yourself.
I run a company called 1839 Ventures. We are a traditional venture capital firm that invests in early stage and early growth stage companies, primarily in Austin, but we do have interest in expanding into Pakistan and funding.
Yes, we're talking about that. And that's
promising companies
fantastic.
there.
And thank you for considering us. So I'm going to come back to you. Let's talk to Gordon now. Gordon, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. My name is Gordon Doherty. I'm a managing director at Capital Factory. I run the startup accelerator there, and I'm also a general partner in the venture fund at Capital Factory.
So can we safely say Capital Factory is the most popular incubation program in Austin and beyond?
I'm very proud of it, of course, so I have an opinion, but yes, we feel like we sit at the center of gravity for entrepreneurship in Austin. 800 entrepreneurs
As
work
they
from
say
Capital Factory.
in Austin, everybody comes to the Capital Factory.
For some
you want to
reason or
meet
another,
someone, just come to the Capital Factory.
Everybody comes through for some reason or another.
For some
it
reason
seems
or the
like,
other.
yes.
And maybe the free food.
And that too, yes.
Great. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Preston, the serious government guy. You and I have something in common, my friend. So,
Buttoned up.
tell us about yourself and what you do here.
Well, my name is Preston Stewart. As you mentioned, I work for the City of Austin. I work in our Economic Development Department, and that comes with a range of great opportunities to work with businesses in developing the entrepreneurship ecosystem and the general business ecosystem. That means working with people like this up here, as you've heard, and also reaching out across the globe and developing opportunities for businesses to come to Austin and for Austin businesses to grow and expand through all of the opportunities elsewhere across the globe. And so that's part of what drew us to Pakistan as part of the ATX PAC program.
Yep.
And we were incredibly excited to learn more by actually being there and seeing what you have going on.
Thank you. So, let me tell you guys, the core audience of this show is young people of the country, right? People, all young people of the country. People like yourself, especially Paul. He's the youngest.
In my head, I think.
In your head, yes, in your head. It's all in the head anyway.
That's right.
Yeah. So these are all the people who coming out of universities, coming out of schools, they have aspirations. The recent change in Pakistan is that if you ask a student in a university, every fifth student of a university wants to be an entrepreneur. That's a major shift. That did not exist 5 years ago. That's the recent improvement I feel in our ecosystem. So there's a lot of demand to be an entrepreneur. So hence the demand is converting into people wanting to be entrepreneurs, hence the supply will increase also. So quickly, if I want to take random quick opinions from each of you, what are the core 3 things that an entrepreneur needs to have to build whatever crap he wants to build? Any core 3 things that you feel are essential for an entrepreneur to have, no matter where he or she may be from, considering it's a It's a connected world now. I don't want it to be centric to the US. All of the people watching in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, all of these people, this show's going to go live on YouTube. Many people will watch it from all countries. What's that standard generic advice that you can give to entrepreneurs? The three things. Two things.
It's easy for me. I mean, and maybe it's two, but I think regardless of culture or geography, you have to have a passion for a particular problem that you want solved. And I find a lot of entrepreneurs they're trying to solve for starting a startup. They're not necessarily starting from what I'd say is a fire in their belly, and they must solve this problem. They have a personal attachment to it, which leads to kind of characteristic number two. They have to have so much drive and determination that even though they're going to hear the word no 85 times before the 86th time is a yes, they're willing to drive and not stop. They're, what I call unstoppable. So those would be at least two.
Unequivocally. I might add to it the ability to close something, to sell something, right? But the way to overcome that fact that everybody's going to tell you no, that fact that a lot of investors are going to say it's a bad idea, is to keep at it, to find the people that love your passion, that agree with it, and at the end of the day are happy to spend some money on it.
So passion's one.
Absolutely.
What else? What else?
I would say drive. Having had the chance to visit Lahore, Pakistan in November last year. And then
You were there. So how did you find Lahore?
I love Lahore. It's awesome. You guys eat as much as we do here, so it's great. It was like being with family the whole time. You just go from meal to meal to meal. But having traveled to Lahore and previously or earlier in the year to Iceland, visiting the startup communities around the world and things, I think that startups all speak the same language, no matter where you are in the world. It is a drive. It is overcoming a problem, problem solving, the willingness not to take no for an answer, to want to change the world, if you will, but it's change it to where you want it to be.
Right. Great.
And I think Gordon was smart to go first because he certainly really hit on what we all agree are some of the most important things. And so I think we can all just say those in many different ways. And so the drive is part of that, but even further than that, the resilience, I think, is what people are saying, to hear no and to come back with new ideas and to further develop your ideas and to keep pushing and keep selling, as Paul mentioned. And so that really separates sometimes the one-month entrepreneur from the lifetime entrepreneur. And so you have to have that. And you have to also have an openness and a willingness to understand and be honest about your strengths and your weaknesses, not just in your business, but as an entrepreneur.
This is the third one. To me, it's open-minded and coachable.
Yes.
You have to be
Exactly.
experienced entrepreneurs that have done it 5 times with big successes. What they know is when they do the next one, they need help, they need advice, they need to be open-minded.
And they're happy to learn and change themselves.
Totally.
Entirely.
I might add a fourth, if I could, which is the reason we're doing this show. It's the reason you all are in Austin with us and in the audience. Network. Meet people.
Essential.
Get yourself out there. The folks that are going to help you be successful are your peers. They're the folks across the ocean. They're the folks throughout the world that love what you're doing, that like what you're doing, that think like we do, that think the same way, and are happy to contribute, to volunteer, to support you. And so you got to put yourself out there and just start shaking hands.
Fantastic. Great. So my next question is more on the lines of how Austin did something that we haven't done as yet, or maybe Austin's still trying to do it. And that's the question regarding capital, venture capital. In our country now, we're producing about 150 startups a year, which is a reasonable amount of startups a year from all over the country. Yet, the understanding in an investor of whether I should go invest in real estate, whether I should buy 15 cows, whether I should invest in a paint manufacturing company or textile, or should I go invest in 2 young boys with dreams and aspirations and a lot of crap that they think would one day be huge. This switchover of mindset, has it happened in Austin? And if yes, how much time did it take? And what all do we need to learn from Austin to achieve this in some years?
Wow. So I've lived in Austin for almost 25 years. I don't know about the rest of the guys here. This didn't happen overnight. This was decades in the making. Now, it won't take other cities and other regions decades necessarily, because they can learn from the lessons. But there is sort of a chicken versus the egg that happens, and when you don't have that early capital, it means that the startups have to find ways to be successful via other means. They have to be what we call scrappier. They have to be bootstrappers. They have to get to profitability faster than they might otherwise if they had funding. But there are going to be some startups in Pakistan that break out and become, big, maybe not mega big, but big enough that it'll catch the attention of some of those investors and it'll change their mindset. And now the chicken and the egg are starting to trade off a little bit. It's the only advice that I have there.
Great.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, that it's a chicken and egg. I come from Silicon Valley. I've been in Austin for about 8 years. The Valley's had capital, a substantial amount of capital for nearly 70, 80 years, right? And so I'd add to it, my earlier thought about vision and passion. As an entrepreneur, that same vision and passion has to apply to the business. It also then has to apply to the city and the country in which you find yourself. What is it that Lahore is focused on? What is it that we're passionate about in this particular city? What is it that Austin is passionate about and does? That's what's going to draw attention to the entrepreneurs they're in that are doing certain things consistent with the industry, the geography, the region.
Right.
That's fundable.
So your fundamental industries matter a lot. That's what you're saying, right?
That's where it starts.
Right,
You have
exactly.
to start with something that you're good at. You can't just decide, we're going to be big in VR, and there's something that Lahore is already really good at. And this happens across the United States. I mean, Memphis, Tennessee, and Gainesville, Florida, they're looking at what they're already good at, and they're trying to build a startup ecosystem around that. And that gives you the beginnings.
Yep. That's my passion for this, right? We've got a big film industry in Austin.
Yes.
What is film doing with technology?
I think part of it too is to answer your question about why some of the wealthy families or well-to-do families in Pakistan ought to consider investing in the startup community and ecosystem is just what Gordon was saying, is invest in what you know. If you already know the transportation industry or the supply chain ecosystem or e-commerce or something like that, invest in startups that you might be able to mentor or help out. And then that way, coming from the investor, I guess, side of it is diversification. You need to be diversified in your portfolio. And then two, some of the startups do have risk, yes, but so as with risk comes return, great returns.
True.
And that's something we were talking about a little bit before the panel, even the idea that you have to develop somewhat of a culture of understanding the risk that's involved and the huge benefits that can come with that, and also a culture on understanding that there's going to be failures. They won't all work out.
Yes, so that's my question particularly to you, because we have an association with the government in another life that we live. How and what role did the government play? But whatever you'll claim, I'm going to verify it with Paul. Okay.
Not
So
the risky
what role
part.
did the government play in making Austin so startup friendly? Was there a role, or
It certainly wasn't on the risky part. That's something we leave to these brave guys over here. But our role in that was not just to try and do it all ourselves, but to what you were speaking about before, to build on our strengths, to understand what strengths the community already had and had been developing over years, and to build on those strengths and pursue the momentum and continue that momentum that's naturally already occurring. And you have that in Pakistan and in Lahore. You already can feel some of the early momentum building. And so that would be where the government's key focus can be, is to make sure that that's sustained and to draw more people into that and to identify specifically what are the strengths.
So venture financing in Pakistan has increased by 800% in the past 2.5 years.
Nice.
So that's a sizable amount, and that clearly speaks where the direction we're headed in. So that's positive. That's why we're here. We want to now show off our work to you guys, and that's why we want our startups to be interacting with you. So the next question, with regards to startups and entrepreneurs again, because that's the audience watching you right now in Pakistan, and I know they're asking this. how do you make a Google? How do you make a Facebook? Because that's what every entrepreneur tells his parent when he leaves his university in Pakistan and says, Dad, Mom, give me a year or 2 years. I want to try doing something of my own. And I don't want to work for the bank. I don't want to have a regular job. And parents are looking at them all upset. Oh my God, my son's a disaster. My daughter's going to go do nothing now. So this faith change, we're working on that, but when will we have that one unicorn company? For that matter, has Austin gotten that one unicorn company, that one big company that you'd say equates the likes of Google and Facebook and Microsoft?
I actually think we have in Austin
Really?
had those kind of companies. They're not necessarily as large.
Right.
Appreciate that it's not as expensive to do business in Texas as it is in California. So there's some economics that change the size of the companies. But becoming that kind of business that changes the world, that changes everything, is actually, I'll reflect on a company that's in Austin, Indeed. The president of Indeed has said on a couple of occasions that the measure of a successful entrepreneur is being equal parts Don Quixote. Don Quixote is a famous Spanish character known for dreaming. He won't take no from anybody. And wakes up every morning and knows that his harebrained dreams are achievable, even though they're not. But he's equal parts Don Quixote and equal parts Mr. Spock from Star Trek. That take those dreams and then measure and be logical about everything you do.
Everyone knows Star Trek in Pakistan.
Okay.
Trust me.
But be willing to be unemotional and logical about the decisions you're making. To Preston's point, that you're going to have failures. What you have to be comfortable with is being able to recognize those and change, pivot as quickly as possible so that you can continue to pursue that dream. If you don't have a dream, you're never going to get there. You're never going to achieve it. So you may as well dream big.
So help me understand what I heard a couple of days back at South by. Mark Cuban was here. I don't know if you were attending that or not. I was, and he the way he talks, it's quite blunt. But he was pretty obviously sure about one thing. The lady asked him a question about Silicon Valley, and he said, "You know what? The Silicon Valley is only good for exits, nothing else. Go to Austin, go to Florida, go to Seattle, go to Chicago." And that's where he named about 6 or 7 American cities and talked about their strengths. And he said, Silicon Valley is only good for exits. I want myself and the people watching in Pakistan to understand what he meant, because I didn't really get it. Because in Pakistan, and I know these kids can relate to me, the dream, the mecca is, let's go have an office in the valley. Whereas the valley sometimes does not even need us. Right? So what advice can you give these folks? How about a detour through Austin or through Chicago or through other places where there is an ecosystem and Valley may be the ultimate goal? Or is it not the ultimate goal? Open question.
No idea.
What often we hear from people about what makes Austin different and what makes it more approachable and gives you a better chance for success than just showing up in the Valley, for example, is the idea of openness, and that this is a place that celebrates new and different ideas. And then we have a diversity, huge diversity of different ideas and different people that are coming in, everyone just excited to create something and work together. And without the intense competition that you sometimes get around Silicon Valley or something like that, everyone's willing to work together and to help you. All of these people up here spend their time working with other entrepreneurs and offer their time and genuinely want them to succeed and understand how that's better for all of us. And that's what we hear often. We hear from the wonderful startups you've been sending over here from Pakistan to be with us, that the difference they notice sometimes from the Valley or something is just how open and welcoming everyone is to them and to their ideas, even when they're just starting out. And that can be a huge difference maker. And yes, if you need huge billions when it's time, maybe you can exit to and from the Valley, but this is a place where you can come and you can grow and start any new idea.
Counting the number of $10 billion unicorns is the wrong measure of success, for sure.
Excellent. Please
Would
explain
Lahore rather have one $10 billion unicorn or 100 startups that each grow to $100 million? which is a more healthy ecosystem to develop?
The latter.
Now, that's the measure of success. I think any
Good.
individual entrepreneur, when they enter the venture, they should be dreaming big enough that they absolutely know that they are sitting on an idea that's going to be a $10 billion unicorn. So aspiration, that is the right measure. But measure of success, if you look back 10 years from now, I'd rather see you with 100 companies at 100 million each than one that happen to make it to $10 billion.
Fantastic.
They,
Good approach.
they are two different types of businesses, if you think about it. That at the end of the day, investors like Chris Sheets in 1839, investors need exits. That investors don't put money into businesses that are simply successful, right? They're looking for a return, and that's neither right or wrong, right? But it is different, and it touches on the earlier conversation we were having about understanding why you are where you are, right? Why would you be in Austin? Why is Media Tech Ventures in Austin? Because of this collision that we have here of video games and film and music. That we started the show talking about, music with these technology professionals. You wouldn't go build a film technology company in Silicon Valley. You wouldn't build a health technology company in Silicon Valley. You'd probably do it in Philadelphia or Raleigh-Durham in the United States, where there's a vibrant medical community.
I think Silicon Valley is big on web, right?
What's that?
Silicon Valley is big on web.
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 Oh, absolutely.
If you want to go 2.0 and
unequivocally.
beyond.
All kinds of web.
Is that their strength?
I think their strength is that they've built upon what came before it, right? The PC, the semiconductor, and then the PC, and then the internet, and then the smartphone. And so they've got this DNA that knows how to work
Seen it
with.
all.
Yep,
Yes.
yep. And that's what you need to look to in Pakistan, is what you build upon. It's what we're doing here in Austin.
Right.
We're taking our strengths and we're learning and figuring out what to build upon that.
Great. Enough entrepreneurship. Last phase of my questions. Austin is considered one of the best cities to live in, right? What are the reasons for that? Let's talk very social now. And after that, the next bit that you all have to answer is one thing that's not on your CV. It's your hobby. It's not on your CV, but you really, really love doing it.
Gotcha. I think I'll take that one first. Is having lived in Austin since 1975, grown to love this city, been a brand ambassador for the city of Austin for a long time. Wasn't part of the don't move here crowd. Only told people that I liked Austin. Otherwise, if I didn't particularly care for you, I wouldn't tell you what a great city it was. But that being said, is that Austin's climate is wonderful. Cost of living is wonderful. The cultural aspects.
Chris, it's a bit of a weird climate. I have worn a polo in the morning and a layer of sweater and a jacket on top in the evening.
Welcome to
Same day.
Texas. We have all 4 seasons in 1 week.
In 1 week. Yeah.
Yes. Even today, it was very cold this morning, but it's supposed to warm up
Yeah,
quite nicely.
it's warming up. Yeah,
today.
yeah.
So, but just sharing off of what Preston said earlier too, I think Austin is so supportive and everybody's so friendly. Moving here from Santa Barbara, California, originally way back in the day, that's what it was so nice about Austin. Even though we've grown up to a metropolitan city that has close to 2 million people in the surrounding areas, it still has that small town vibe, and everybody's willing to help out. That's what I love about Austin.
Small town.
Yes.
Great. Paul.
Yeah, I'll reflect a bit on where I come from in Silicon Valley. When I moved here, I noticed that at professional networking events, the culture is completely different. That in California, the first question they ask you is what you do for a living. Yeah. All I want to know is what your work is. And when my wife and I, and we brought our family, we came about 6, 7, 8 years ago, the first thing I noticed is that's almost always the last thing people ask when you're networking. Professionally, they want to know if you have a family. They want to know where you live. They want to know what you enjoy doing. We were just so quickly drawn to that. I couldn't be.
And see, and this is the link, by the way, which attracts Lahore so much towards you,
right.
because you're very close to our culture. We believe in a strong family system in Pakistan,
yeah.
And we see a lot of that in Austin, particularly. So yes, Lahore and Austin align a lot. Right. Generally, Pakistanis and Austin align a lot with the way you guys think here. What's that one thing that's not on your CV?
What's not on my CV? Perhaps you can tell, but I love to perform, and my kids.
Wow.
I do it at my house. I sing, not well. I love to be on stage.
So why don't you sing for us?
Not
Let's
well.
do this. I'm going to insist.
I-
And if it goes wrong, my editor will definitely do
No,
something.
well,
with
that's,
it.
I need the editor. I work on the technology side of media for a reason.
But I'm sure you listen to so much music, and you're the capital for live music, right? In the US, that's what Austin is. Austin is so many things, right? So how about a bit of humming? For us?
Some
Come
humming.
on, come on, do
You're really
it.
gonna make me do it.
Do it. Come on.
How about let's
And
see.
you guys could give the background music
Ooh.
to that.
Yeah, actually, you know, my middle child is in the audience, and she knows this one.
Okay.
Do you want to? Well, what's that song? I can't even think. Oh, do you want to build a snowman?
Oh.
Do you want to
Do you want to build a snowman?
Wow.
That's about all I could do.
And I'm sure this is Frozen, right?
Yes.
Ah, see,
Yes.
so I have a little one too, and she loves this. So clearly, yes. And we listen to this a lot. So why don't you do a bit of more of that? Come
Oh,
on.
come on. I don't know the words.
So how about some country music? Something that's
We should be able to do that.
yeah.
Gordon,
Come on, let's do it together.
one?
A little country.
I'm not a country guy.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Come on, together. One, 2, 3.
Yeah, I need a. I don't know any songs.
Maybe we can do it as we
I'm
take
not
it. Maybe at the takeout, as we leave, as
Yeah,
we close
right.
the show, we'll get Anita up here and we'll come up with some song.
You could come up with anything.
You
at all.
gathered some of the least musically inclined people in Austin.
Yeah, right. Actually,
We can
musically
find
inclined.
you lots and lots. They just aren't up here at this table, which is
Yes, we
unfortunate.
like to go attend shows.
That's right. That's right. That's why we're in Austin. It's because it is the live music capital.
nice.
Doesn't mean you're actually a part of it.
Just like food, we all love the food, but doesn't mean we can make it all for
That's
you.
right.
Right. It's okay. But I love the snowman though.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure.
Thank you very, very much for your time. You are now going to be celebrities in Pakistan. Trust me, we value people who can give us some knowledge, something to learn. And this was a very informative discussion. I'm sure young people sitting in Pakistan, when they watch this, they'll share it all over the internet. It's going to go viral. It's a big show that we're doing. This show is going to play a major role, by the way. It's technically the Pakistani, the Desi version of Shark Tank, where you see some very interesting people pitching, some very interesting investors investing. I've seen more investors hopping on this show ever before had I not seen this, but we're doing incubators and all. So television has a power to attract so many people and influence so many people. So I'm hoping this show will make a milestone, create some sort of impact in Pakistan. So having you guys over here, I'm assuming and hoping the next time you're in Pakistan, you'll be shooting this show with me, maybe as a mentor or as an investor, live listening to my pitches of my companies. Thank you very much for helping my startups who are here in Pakistan. You guys have been instrumental in changing the way they think, and I'm so indebted. And just keep supporting us. We're a country, a force to reckon with. I'm telling you, Pakistan is on a comeback. We've hit rock bottom, but the best part is the youth of this country has decided, well, damn whoever is in power, we'll fix things ourselves. And that's the biggest power, the biggest strength of any country. So keep supporting us. We need partners and we need supporters. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for being on the show, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Nabeel.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.